Mend it like Beckham, man. People, it's never nice to see a family go against each other so openly in public, man. It's never nice to see. And, in these situations here, it's best to not, all the way pick one side because we don't know what's going on, man. And you see these celebrities, bro. Listen, let's not forget that these are celebrities at the end of the day, man. They live a complete different world to us, bro. We normal people, we can't relate to what they've got going on, what they get up to, what's normal, what's acceptable to them. We can't relate to that, man. And we all know the things that celebrities do, yeah, is just very weird. Almost every celebrity, they always end up, there's always some mad story where it's just weird, bro. And I saw this clip. This is apparently a clip from 2023 where, Brooklyn is seen dragging his wife into the family photo, and let's just say, she doesn't look too happy being involved, and Victoria Beckham doesn't look like she wants her involved either, man. Check this out, man. And then after, we're gonna go into see what Brooklyn Beckham had to say about the family, man.
Please, both of you into the middle.
Thank you.
Middle.
Thank you.
Victoria, over there.
Yeah. Hello, you.
Victoria.
Damn.
Everyone straight down the centre. Into the middle, please, both of you into the middle.
Thank you.
She looks like she's been crying.
Middle.
And like when he goes to grab the mom, to like bring her closer, she's like, man, watch out, man. Watch out.
Thank you.
Victoria, over there.
Yeah.
And then even Brooklyn, man, like his whole face just changes, like that his whole demeanor changed. You could see that, he just tried to you could see he just caught up in the middle, man, and it's a shame. And yeah, from what I can see right here, someone has said, I'm on the parents' side. Parents always know better. Wow. There's the saying that, the mother knows best. And that can be true a lot of the time. But people, again, we are talking about celebrities here, bro. These people are not normal, man. You know what I mean? They're not like us, bro. Like, let's start acting like we can relate to these guys. We can't relate to them, man. So yeah, as we know, Beckham, the Beckham family, they've been having a feud with their son for a while, and it seems that he's actually decided to take to the social media and vent his frustrations about the family, man. And listen, this is what he's got to say, man. I've not actually read this yet. This is the first time I'm actually reading this. So yeah, let's see how many pages. Oh my God, have I got to go through all of this? Bro. Alright, so it starts by saying, I have been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leave me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth about only some of the lies they have been printed. So, he's basically saying he's been silent for so long, and the David Beckham and Victoria Beckham, they've been PR trained. Let's not forget that, by the way. They've been PR trained for, bro, God knows how long now. She was like a star when she was younger. David Beckham has been a star. So, it's easy for them to control the narrative through the media. And like when they catch any type of heat, they know how to, dictate and, operate with the media, man. I do not want to reconcile with my family. Bro, he's going in strong, man. I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life. So yeah, it sounds like a man who, is finally allowed to let his wings be spread and be a man. Again, this is not me picking sides, by the way. For my entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press. Listen, just what I said. Listen, I've not actually read this, by the way. Yeah, now let me just clarify that. For my entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. The performative social media posts, family events, and inauthentic relationships have been a feature of the life I was born into. Recently, I've seen with my own eyes the lengths that they'll go through to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people to preserve their own facade. But I believe the truth always comes out. Hey, listen, my man's going in, man. So yeah, again, bro, like I said, these are celebrities here, bro, yeah? And, you know, the Beckham family, it is within their own interest to, you know, keep the, you know, the perfect image, which I don't believe you should keep a perfect image, bro. I think when you can show that, you know, you are human and you are just like us, yeah, that prevents things like this from happening at such a large scale. Because like when you try to just like when you just try to paint as though you're Miss and Mr. Perfect and stuff, even though there's been allegations over the years of him cheating and having affairs, it just makes things even worse, man. You know, it makes things even worse. As you say, so the performative social media posts, yeah, man, like at that level, everything's just an image, man. Everything's just a facade, you know, and it just seems like a very stressful life to live, bro. You know what I mean? Anyway, my parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mom cancelled making Nicholas dress. So where the mom was going to make a dress for the wife, but she cancelled it in the 11th hour, despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress. Hey, listen, this is rich people problems, bro. This is rich people problems, man. Weeks before our big day, my parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name. Damn. Which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. So they want him to get rid of the name. Listen. And listen, it sounds like, from what he's saying, they don't want nothing to do with this son, bro. They don't want nothing to do with him. But, you know, I did read somewhere as well that they wanted him to sign they wanted her to sign a prenup, and he was refusing to make her sign a prenup and stuff. Which to me, you know, whether, you know, her family, because apparently her family are billionaires too, whether that's the case, you know, I just think that, you know, just sign a prenup, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like if your family want you to sign a prenup, bro, after, you know, all the hard work that they've put in to put you in the position that you are in, the least you can do is just make a sign a prenup, bro. You know what I mean? Like, how is it gonna affect you? Like, and if I firmly believe, yeah, if she doesn't want to sign a prenup, that is a no bigger red flag than that, bro. Like, that is a big red flag in itself. But I don't know. Which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. They were adamant on me signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since. During the wedding planning, my mum went so far as to call me evil because Nicola and I chose to include my nanny Sandra and Nicholas's Noni at our table. This just sounds like rich people problems, man. And again, people, yo, listen, I've literally just woke up, man. Yo, look at these eyes, man. Look at these eyes. I've just woke up, man. You know? But yeah, this so far just sounds like rich people problems, man. I'll be honest, man. The night before our wedding, members of my family told me that Nicola was not blood and not family. Since the moment I started standing up for myself with my family, I've received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly. That was sent to the press on their orders. I'm not gonna lie, bro, yeah. The way it's structured, it's kind of hard to read, fam. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna lie, bro. It's kind of hard to read, bro. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere this last summer. Man said they were sent to attack him. So what, like, what? What, like, are they like some soldiers who get told to go to war? Yo, anyway. But again, even with like, you know, the siblings attacking him and stuff, again, it just seems like dysfunction, bro. And if everyone is against him, could that also mean he's a problem? He's the problem? Or could it also mean that, you know, everyone is just trying to keep up with the facade and he's the one child that I said, yo, listen, I am not keeping up with this facade, bro. You that can keep up with whatever you want to keep up with, but I'm not involved. I don't know, man. Like we're never gonna know people. That's why I ain't really trying to take no one's side in this situation, man. My mum hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance, to a romantic love song. In front of our 500 wedding guests, Mark Anthony called me to the stage where in the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife. But instead, my mum was waiting to dance with me instead. So he was scheduled to have a moment of truth with his wife. But instead, the mum, he, you know, alleges, you know, she wanted to make it about herself instead, and she would rather the dance be with them two. Crazy. She danced very inappropriate. What? She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. I've never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life. Hey, listen. What does he mean by his mom danced inappropriately on him? Like, what does that even mean, man? Because now I'm trying, what was he trying to, you know, give him the wickedest wine? Was she trying to give him the dirty wine? Was she trying to, what is inappropriately, bro? Because, hey, listen, I don't even want to visualize my mother dancing on me inappropriately, bro. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't think I want to know what that means, bro. We wanted to renew our vows so we could create new memories of our wedding day that brings us joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment. My wife has been consistently disrespected by my family no matter how hard we've tried to come together as one. My mom has repeatedly invited women from my past into our lives in ways that were clearly intended to make us both uncomfortable. What? My family value public promotion and endorsements above all else. The brand Beckham comes first. Family love is decided by how much you post on social media or how quickly you drop everything to show up and pose for a family photo op. Even if it's at the expense of our professional obligations, we've gone out of our way for years to show up and support every fashion show, every party, and every press activity to show our perfect family. But the one time my wife asked for my mum's support to save displaced dogs during the LA fires, my mum refused. Oh, down the final page, people. The final page. The narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I've been controlled by my parents for most of my life. I grew up with overwhelming anxiety. For the first time in my life since stepping away from my family, that anxiety has disappeared. I wake up every morning grateful for the life I chose, and I have finally found peace and relief. My wife and I do not want a life shaped by image, press, or manipulation. All we want is peace, privacy, and happiness for us both and our family. Hey, listen. Yeah, like I said, man, yeah. It just sounds to me like, you know, he's had enough of being, you know, Mr. Perfect, having the perfect image. And but you know, again, we don't know what Victoria Beckham's side is, what David Beckham's side is. We don't know because he was asked about this. Apparently, it was today. Apparently, this was today. Apparently, this is what they're saying, and they're saying that this is what his response was, man.
mistakes. Children are allowed to make mistakes. That's how they learn. So that's what I try to teach my kids. But you have to sometimes let them make those mistakes as well. They make mistakes. Children.
Hey, listen, in Jamaica, yeah, we've got a saying, "Who don't hear must feel." Yeah, and that sounds like what he's basically trying to say to me, bro. Who don't hear must feel.
Are allowed to make mistakes. That's how they learn. So that's what I try to teach my kids. But you have to sometimes let them make those mistakes as well. They make.
So yeah, obviously, we never really know the truth of what's going on over there, but we don't actually know. Yeah, all we know is, Brooklyn Beckham. He doesn't want anything to do with them anymore, man. And I'm not gonna lie. From that video that I seen with, Brooklyn Beckham trying to, grab his mom, get her in the picture, include his wife, and just give him the cold shoulder. That was kind of sad, bro. Like, that was kind of sad still. You could see his whole energy shift, his whole mood changed. But yeah, people, listen. Let me know what you think about this, man. No, let me know, man. I actually wasn't gonna do a video on this, but I literally just woke up like 20 minutes ago, like literally, and I was like, you know what? Something like this, it only makes sense to do. It's not every day you do a video of somebody getting ran down, and you know what I mean. Yeah, people, listen. Let me know what you think about this. Like, are you picking anyone's side, or do you just think, yo, listen, these are celebrities, man. We can't relate to these guys. We don't know what they're actually getting up to, and it's none of my business. But yeah, people, if you like the video, like and subscribe. And I'm going back to have my nap, man, because, bro, listen, I'm out. Peace.